Hello, and today has been a beautiful day. Started off with an amazing sunrise walk down at Coogee Beach with my sister and my little nephew, and my new smudge stick arrived. Usually I smudge with white sage, but I thought I would get a different one. I heard really good thing called Earth Aromas with Love. It is the Courage one, which is a mixture of prairie sage, mugwort and patchouli. And this particular mugger is a gentle energy to blend and repel negative energies and emotions and give you the confidence to follow your dreams, which is exactly what I'm feeling right now that I needed. White sage is more for getting rid of the negative energies and the negative spirits, whereas this particular combination will attract, you know, my spirit, like the good spirits, and get rid of the negative one. I've done a little like song and dance about this before and just being silly, but actually it's something that I do every single day. I tell you, I'm actually feeling not that energetic today because I've been up since 4 o'clock to go to sunrise, but all it really took was a serious banter with a friend of mine to make me laugh. I don't know, do you know this? I always say like attracts like, but I tell you what, my friends and I, we have the most deviant sense of humor ever. Anyway, back to the thing, back to the topic. If you missed the one-day sale at Anytime Fitness Hyde Park, not only $0 joining fee, but you also usually get a goodie bag, kinds of stuff as well. So I'm just gonna go have a shower and freshen up, and then I'm gonna come back and then talk to you about the rest of what this topic is today. And that is about the difference between like narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths. Anyway, I'm gonna have a shower. I need to wake myself up. I do believe I need a second coffee today. I've only had one before my workout, but I'm gonna have another one, freshen myself, and then I'm gonna come back and share the rest with you. So I'm also gonna put the link in below for Discover Sharks, and you get a free stainless steel straw. You pay a little bit of the postage fee as fee, and that goes towards shark conservation. So I'm feeling a little flat. I think it's just because I did get up so early, but I'm feeling energetically really good, just a little tired. So I smudged my hair. I meant to use a feather for the smoke, but I don't have a feather. Do I have a feather? No, I don't have a feather. So just use my hand to like smoke it. And in particular, when you're doing it, you got to think really positive things and really good energy, and just really positive things. And also go in a clockwise motion around your apartment or your house, or around objects, go in a clockwise motion, and then pay particular attention to the corners as well. And when you're doing yourself, but make sure you're thinking very positive things. I still have to do my meditation, which I'm going to do after I start filming this and before I start editing, because I've just worked out what the difference is between narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths, which is like, I'm sure everyone in their lifetime has come across some, and people can be, there are some experts on this topic, and I am by far no means an expert at all. I've just come to the realization of what these are myself, and especially in particular when dealing with relationships and attracting them. And my personal belief is that if you have had a narcissistic or sociopathic or psychopathic parent, that you will kind of, because it's kind of implanted into your brain from when you're young, it's kind of like this thing that I feel that you'll attract that as an adult. And for myself, it was kind of like, why am I always attracting these guys that are like so into themselves? Like they have no remorse or no empathy, no anything. They're just so self-absorbed and it's all about them. Like, why am I always attracting these ones? Is there something like written across my forehead that is narcissist come to me? And then after I've been digging deep in all this soul searching and with all the life changes I've been having and why, and spotting the signs. So one of the things that when I was seeing a social worker last year because of the sexual assault, clip on YouTube, and it's called The Shark Cage. And it's basically all about how when your parents didn't teach up how to spot a shark, it's about putting up the barriers of your shark cage. And if you're not taught that from a young age, then you're not going to be able to replicate that as an adult. And it's about rebuilding that shark cage, with those barriers. So there is that video on YouTube. It's called The Shark Cage. But I knew all this already. I knew that the reasons was because of stuff that happened as a child, but it was more to do with how to break this pattern, how to break this cycle. So identifying and it was really, I guess, now I really have figured that it is to do with identifying, knowing. I had no idea what these people, I just thought it was a problem with me, like a problem with me in the sense, why am I always attracting these douchebags? Okay, and I'm going to just say this right now. Yes, they're douchebags, but the problem is actually with you, because you're the one who's enabling it and you're the one who's allowing them to come in. The problem is breaking away from a narcissist, because they belittle you so much that they make you feel that you're always the problem. Everything is, they're never the problem, and they're never, it's always you. So you get to that point of really, really low self-esteem that you do feel that, yeah, it's you, that you are a problem, and that's all you're worthy of, and that's all that you're going to be deserving of. When in actual fact, if you were not put in that situation to begin with, you would have be completely, you wouldn't have that mentality, because but that's how they make you feel. Really, really hard to break away from, but when you do break away from them, it's the best. A really important quote the other morning, and it said this: just because they keep coming back, because the narcissist and the sociopath and the psychopath will always try to come back. When you try and break free, they'll always try to come back. And it's kind of like that same thing as the ghoster. The ghoster, when they'll ghost you and then they'll just come back. Same principle. And just because they keep coming back doesn't mean they care. Remember that. Just because they keep coming back doesn't mean they care. It's just all part of their little twisted mind in trying to reel you back in again. But there are some key signs that I have learned in, my realization of self-discovery, and that is the difference between all three. So all psychopaths are narcissists, but not all narcissists are psychopaths. Psychopaths are born that way. Narcissists and sociopaths were learned. They became this from a very young age due to their own environment and their own environmental upbringing. They became sociopaths and narcissists. Narcissists and psychopaths have no empathy, and they have no empathy towards the trail of destruction that they do leave behind them. Whereas sociopaths, they are very, very aware and they're very aware of the trail of destruction and do display empathy as well. So they can, present empathy and be empathetic. They are very well knowing of the pain that they are causing somebody else. Whereas the narcissist or a psychopath, they're completely oblivious to the fact that they're causing someone pain. All of which are, you can be in a relationship with a narcissist or a sociopath, but what you need to realize is that they will never change. They are the way, and a psychopath will definitely never ever change. The trap is that you think that, you've seen their good side. How they get you in is that you've seen a really good, a really nice part of them, or, I love you. And then the next minute it's you're this, you're that, I don't really love you, I don't want to be with you. And then they'll repeat that behavior. I love you. So you think that, you've seen their really good side, and they'll keep on, but I've seen their good side. But they're just having a bad day. They're just having an off day. Well, that bad and off day is a complete perpetual repetition, where and so you keep telling yourself, oh no, but I've seen their good side. But that actually, what you need to know is that their good side is fake. People can maintain a fake persona for about a period of 3 months, and then after that, they can't. Some people just can't do it at all. They might just put on this fake persona for a period of a day, a period of whatever, but they cannot sustain that fakeness until you start to see their true colors come through. So when you start to see their true colors come through, that's a real indication. It's really hard to detect them from the initial ones, and as soon as you start to see their true colors, that's real indication. But the unfortunate thing is, usually by then they have already sucked you in and manipulated with their their loving, I love you and whatever, because you feel like that is their true persona, when in actual fact it's a facade. But yeah, so you can never ever change any of these people. You can live and you can have a relationship with a narcissist or a sociopath as long as you're aware that they will never change and this is their behavior and this is what they do. They're so self-absorbed and they're always going to put everything onto you. But I guess so then you have to learn your own coping strategies of how to deal with all of them and, you know, how you're going to deal with every situation that presents itself and how to, you know, deal with that so that you are not damaging your own being. Psychopaths, like, pretty dangerous people and I would never ever recommend anyone. I was in a 3-year relationship with, now I know he was a psychopath, complete and utter psychopath, 3 years. But at that time, you really you really do blame yourself for everything that they're doing and they're causing because that's what they tell you. They put everything onto you. And I can actually say that this particular person had, even after, you know, I walked away from the relationship of 3 years finally, like was still trying to get me back. Like he would send me flowers to my work. He would, with the first time in our relationship, he sent me flowers and it was when you knew that I had completely, like, that was it. I was completely done. You know, I'd get the occasional random message from him and it was like, I was completely done. But this is what I'm saying. It's like they don't actually care. It's just their little thing of like, oh, I wonder if I can get her again, or wonder if I'm not going to actually make this as a gender thing, like all men are not, you know, men are that and it's women are the victim, because I know women who also do this to men as well. And I wonder if I can get him again and, you know, try to reel him in again. And then once they've got you, they'll just like spit you out. But anyway, it's just like kind of, and I'm not speaking as an expert on this because I'm still learning it myself. And I wish I kind of learned all of this when I was younger and actually like pinpointing what. And the mind is a very repetitious, like, you know, we form habits. We're habitual. Humans are habitual. So what we know instinctively, so if you've grown up with that, which is like the shark cage analogy, if you've grown up with that and you've seen that from your own environment, like one of your parents was narcissistic or, you know, one of the other or both were to each other and to you, you're going to repeat that as an adult because it's what you've been brought up with. But it's identifying that and looking out for those key signals straight away and knowing that, like, one, just telling yourself over and over and over and over and over that it's actually nothing to do with you. It's a problem with them, and that problem with them will never ever change. They are like that. You can't change them. So you've got to decide then whether or not to leave that relationship, stay in it and deal with it. But staying in it and dealing with it could be very, very self-destructive unless, you know, you really have to know what you're doing in order to, you know, combat them, because the narcissist has no empathy. They have no realization about hurting people and hurting others. They're just completely oblivious to it. Sociopaths are, they're empathetic and they know that they're hurting somebody else. But again, they will continue to keep doing that and continue to, you know, put everything onto you as that you're the blame for it all and very self-absorbed within the entire relationship as to anyone else's emotion. I'm staying in Sydney, and this is because, like, as I said, you know, if you watch my other vlog, like I think I'm psychic, when I've been talking to my spirit guide and asking my spirit guide for guidance and just some other realizations along the way. As you saw this morning, I can't leave the beach. I just cannot leave the beach. All I need to do is leave my apartment. It's like literally lease out my apartment and move closer to the beach again, because I need the beach. It's part of my soul, my aura, and the sunrise or the sunset on a daily basis is very, very important for my whole entire being. So I'm not leaving Sydney anymore. I had a lot of realizations that it was, I guess, like a freak out it was just a freak out in my life changes and I can't afford to stay in Sydney and I have to leave because, you know, how am I going to afford to stay here? When in actual fact, like, I can't even live with a housemate. I've been living on my own since I was 18 because I'm an introvert and I like my own company and I recharge my batteries being on my own rather than living with somebody else. I couldn't do it. But you know what, in all honesty, like, I've been managing okay, like, to date, whatever, but I'm going to move closer to the beach. It's like part of myself. I've come to that realization. Speaking to my spirit guide, and I know you probably think I'm nuts, but if you don't think I'm nuts, then I go into more detail about, which I'm going to put the link down below. I'm also going to put the link down for Anytime Fitness Hyde Park as well, and also the other places that I did put in about, you know, they gave me all the goodies and stuff. But anyway, so that's a good thing for me. I just and I have a few months up my sleeve now to get a property manager and lease out, you know, my place and everything like that, and then find myself a nice little place by the beach again, because I really, really love being by the beach, and being a WA girl, I need to have a beach. And let's just face it, Melbourne, you suck in that department. Sorry guys, you know already that you suck in that department, the beach department, and it's very, very pot and pizza, but yeah. Plus my sister is pregnant again, so I'm going to be an auntie again, so that's really exciting, and I want to be here. I just need to stay here. And also developments with uni as well. So I'm like I'm saying, the spirit guide tells you everything you want to know. You just have to ask for it and you will be received. So anyway guys, I'll catch you next time, but I want to go into this further. But I guess in order to go into this further about the narcissist, psychopath, you know, sociopath, I really need to know about what I'm talking about myself, because I'm just learning all of this myself, because it's a really, really important thing as to not self-blame. And all I'm going to say this to you as well is, if you're in a current relationship with one of the above, do what you got to do, but owe it to yourself, like, to walk out of that situation. People will not respect you unless you respect yourself. And if you're like constantly who is emotionally destructive and abusing you, then how can anyone else respect you? Respect yourself first. Love yourself first and leave that person. No matter who they are, you owe it to yourself to love yourself first. Anyway, guys, catch you next week. Next session, I promise, I'm going to be a little bit more energetic. I'm just having a flat day today, but I have recharged myself with a secondary coffee and some more smudging. But now I'm going to meditate.